So the topic for today is this concept of Metaview. Metaview, getting a 30,000 foot look at your problem. So when we have a problem and we're grinding away at it and it's been a problem for a long time, this could be a relationship issue, a professional relationship issue, or some other puzzle you're just trying to solve and you keep getting stuck in the same spot. A great practice is to get a new perspective. So to get a new perspective, we call it in coaching a Metaview. So you think about the problem down there in the weeds where you just were, where you're always grinding it out, hitting the same walls. But what you want to do is you want to kind of hover up above it. You want to hover up above the problem and then look back down on it. So I wanted to give you guys a really good example. It's a personal example and it's a total mommy issue example, but I'm going to use it anyway because it's probably the most powerful Metaview that I've ever experienced in my own coaching. So it was a couple summers ago and my kids were in a new summer schedule. So summer's a change of seasons. I'm working from home. And I had to make this adjustment and I was getting really frustrated, feeling like I was unfocused at work, but also unfocused at home, just really split energy. And it was because of this new schedule, which had one kid going to one place, another kid, I know these moms and dads out there can relate, going to another camp. They were different pickups, different drop-offs. And then there was also this idle time that I'd never had before. So always being a working mom, my kids have always had kind of a full day camp schedule in the summer, but they were getting older and they were doing half-day summer school. So it caused me a lot of anxiety and it kept coming again and again with my coaching, with my own coach. And so she said, you keep getting stuck in this weird split energy about your kid's schedule. Why don't we do a Metaview? So she asked me to close my eyes and she goes, just hover up above your kids. And it was my son in particular that was causing me the anxiety and nothing he was doing. It was like, I was concerned for him. Was I giving him enough attention? Did he have enough going on? My daughter, no problem. So she asked me to go again up above and she said, look down on your kids. It's summer. Think of the pool, think of the sunshine, but look at them. And I looked at my daughter and she said, what do you see? And I said, oh, she's like super capable. I almost saw her as like an older teen. And at that time she wasn't even a teenager. I saw her as like an older teen or maybe even a young adult that just like had it together. She looked very organized and like super grown up to me in my Metaview. So that was good. I was like, okay, I feel good about that. That's interesting. And she said, now shift over to your son. And I instantly got this pit in my stomach. And when I looked down on him, it was like he was in the baby carrier. I was looking down on the baby carrier of my son. Now he was at least 10 years old, double digits or something. So he wasn't a baby, but I was surprised that what came up in my Metaview was that I saw him as a baby. I saw him as, obviously I didn't see him as a baby, but I saw him as this kind of needing me more. It gave me such a perspective shift. She asked me follow-up questions like, is that true? I mean, is he a baby? Of course not. He's totally efficient. He can make his own breakfast. He can get his own lunch together. He has his own little set of homework that he can work on independently. And he had these other, half-day camps, whatever. So the reason I say all this is because sometimes when we're lost in a problem, we're lost in the weeds, we're not aware of our own perceptions and how they are affecting us getting to a solution. So once I released this idea that my son was an infant that needed me, which he certainly was not. He'd probably be super insulted if he heard this right now, that I would even think that of him. But he was, he's my youngest and just a different relationship. So it was me causing that anxiety. It was my perspective making him, in my mind, that dependency on me, which wasn't true. Things opened up for us in our relationship. He is so independent now. He's so self-sufficient. I had to shift out of that old, very wrong idea of who he was in order to free him up even more. He feels very proud of his actions. He feels very proud of his independence. And it was almost an instant shift. So I just wanted to encourage you. Sometimes what comes up, we can't always hear ourselves think that. So that's why coaching is really valuable. To have somebody else ask you that question at just the most intuitive and right time. So if you're interested in exploring this a little bit, hit me up for a complimentary coaching session and let's see what we discover together. Thanks so much.